After Zootopia 2's massive success of the worldwide box office, beating out Frozen 2 and Inside Out 2's previous records, and earning its spot in the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time, it was clear that Zootopia had a bigger future than Disney might have expected. After the immersive land of Zootopia opened in Shanghai Disney, alongside the attraction Hot Pursuit, and after the Tree of Life welcomed Better Together in Disney's Animal Kingdom, the next question was how Zootopia could come to Disneyland, even if that's not happening anytime soon. And that didn't stop fans online from discussing how Zootopia could fit in Disneyland, even if that decision can greatly affect the park's future. So today, I'm here to talk about how fans think Zootopia could possibly fit in Disneyland, why that just won't happen, and its likely future that might disappoint fans. And if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified for new videos. When it came to finding a spot for Zootopia at Disneyland, there was a certain location that seemingly made sense, and that was to retheme a portion of Hollywoodland at Disney California Adventure into Zootopia. If you've been up to date with the parks, you already know that a portion of the backlot is already planned to make way for the Avatar destination. But interestingly enough, people have been wondering about the project's whereabouts due to delays in the closure of Monsters Inc., which is exactly where this land would be built. Although I'm entertaining this idea for this video, I firmly believe this is not happening. And while I'll share why in a moment, I don't think the idea of Zootopia being located as part of Hollywoodland is inherently bad. For those who don't know, Hollywoodland is currently Disney's worst land at Disneyland, and it's been that way since the park opened in 2001. Originally known as Hollywood Pictures Backlot, this land was supposed to be some fake backlot movie set of the real Hollywood. It surely fit the California theme, but the land was built because it was the cheapest land they could build. Why try to build some glamorous Hollywood land more akin to Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard from Disney's Hollywood Studios, when you could build sound stages and unfinished buildings? It technically fit the theme of a working movie studio the land was meant to represent, even if the land was never supposed to have movies filmed there. But during the park's multi-billion-dollar makeover, it was decided to turn Hollywood Boulevard into a real street, and to rename the area Hollywoodland. That's when the backlot area behind the fake buildings really didn't fit the land anymore. It's just this ugly, unfinished area that has Monsters Inc., a food truck, and a location serving drinks in yellow cups, which is the best part of the area. Yeah, the backlot looks a little nicer than it did when the land opened decades ago, but it's clear that this area just isn't up to Disney's standards today. And it's not even limited to the backlot, but the entire area is kinda sad. It's felt that way since the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror became Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which happened almost a decade ago, crazily enough. It's since been rezoned to be a part of Avengers Campus, and with the Hyperion Theater still sitting abandoned, the red car trolley no longer running through the land, and Monsters Inc. set for demolition in 2027, the land's definitely seen some better days. Actually, walking down Hollywood Boulevard is nice, even if there's not much that particularly interests me. If anything, I just see it as a nice little extension of Buena Vista Street. And maybe in the future, this can actually be a real extension of Buena Vista Street, but the actual backlot, it definitely needs some attention. And thankfully, part of this land will get the much needed attention it deserves. Whether it's Zootopia or Avatar, this is obviously a step in the right direction. Not just for Hollywoodland, but for all of California Adventure. As much as I love this park, it still feels like it needs more to do. Of course, more attractions would solve this problem easily, but I think it needs one more big area for the park to really feel like a true full-day park. And that's where there was discourse online about Zootopia fitting in the current backlot. Keep Hollywood Boulevard the same, but on the other end of 1930s Hollywood, you'd be immersed in the world of Zootopia. Just like in Shanghai, you'd be able to step into this city from the movie and experience a lot of what it had to offer. The land looks impressive, despite only having one attraction. So on the surface, it sounds like we're trading in a land with one ride for another land with one ride. The difference here is that Monsters Inc. doesn't have that great capacity. For most of the attraction's history, the ride commonly had a 5 to 10 minute wait, usually no more than 20 minutes on busier days. The wait time skyrocketed when Lightning Lane was introduced, as everyone in that line gets priority. So Lightning Lane guests would wait no more than 10 minutes, whereas guests usually see Monsters Inc. posted at 45 minutes. But if the trackless Zootopia ride, or the already planned Avatar boat ride, was the one attraction replacing Monsters Inc., it'd be a big improvement. Sure, you'd get about the same wait time, but that's not necessarily a capacity issue. That would be due to the attraction's popularity. So I was curious how big the land was and seeing how it'd fit in the backlot if Zootopia came, which it's not, but you know. So I went to Google Earth to figure out my answer. It was a little rough at first, never exactly needed to use this before today, but the Zootopia land isn't nearly as massive as I thought. It's not exactly an approximate number, but the land looks to be a little less than 4 acres. The backlot and the bus loading area that's planned for DCA expansion is roughly 6 acres. That's quite a lot of land we have to work with. Among the discourse, it was also argued that Zootopia Better Together from Animal Kingdom could move into the former Muppets Theater. Quality of that show aside, I'm a little indifferent to this since I never stepped foot in the theater to see Phil or Magic, but I'm sure there'd be many families who'd love it. 2 attractions being added to this portion of the park sounds nice in theory. However, as I already mentioned, it's not happening. The online discourse started after fans heard that we should expect an announcement that Avatar will be replaced by Zootopia. This comes from a supposedly former Imagineer whom I understand provides some interesting takes on the parks. Considering trustworthy sources online still confirm Avatar is coming to the backlot, and Disney themselves confirmed this as well at their D23 discussion panel on the park's 25th anniversary, it's clear Zootopia will not be happening yet. Let me explain. Even if I knew from the beginning that there was no chance Zootopia would come to the backlot, I wanted to make this video since it's not fully impossible that Zootopia doesn't come to the parks at all. Work is well underway to prep California Adventure for a massive expansion very far in the future. But before those expansions come, smaller expansions are being done first. Since Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water are in the top 5 highest grossing films of all time, it's clear that Avatar is going to be Disney's next land at the resort. That means Avatar has to be built where the backlot is, as that's the only sizable land left for expansion in the current Disney California Adventure Park. It's most likely going to be on the side of the monorail where the transportation center is today. I don't really see the land being on both sides. Not only will we have to completely hide the monorail, assuming this land is meant to be hyper-immersive like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but Guardians of the Galaxy, Carthay Circle, Hyperion Theater, all the other Hollywoodland buildings are gonna stick out in the Avatar destination. I understand it's not a whole lot of room to work with, and it'd leave next to no room for expansion, but that's what's been confirmed already. And that's honestly why I see many people online clamoring for Zootopia to come here instead. It's not about the likeliness of this IP being forced into the backlot, but rather it's about what people want to see here instead. People see a monorail in the parks and see a monorail in the movie, so might as well just put Zootopia here. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't sound like a cool idea, because that does sound pretty cool, but it's just not happening. We've known about this future Avatar expansion for years now. It was just kinda mentioned all casually by Bob Iger a few years ago, but it took a long time for us to even get official concept art. The project wasn't worked on for years and years, all for it to be thrown by the wayside for a copy of a land that already exists in the world. There's also quite the talk about people saying no one cares about Avatar and how no one even likes the films. Firstly, that's simply not true. I don't think I need to tell everyone how this series has made bank at the box office. If people didn't care about the films, no one would pay to go to watch the movie. Yet people are doing it. Billions are doing it actually. That's why we're getting this land. And those same people who watch those films and like those films, they're gonna enjoy Pandora at DCA. I'm 100% sure it's gonna have the same quality we see in Avatar over in Animal Kingdom, so it's definitely not gonna feel cheap. This is gonna be a really good expansion. And honestly, it'll be nice getting something California Adventure's never seen before. I'm currently making a video on whether or not the park's name should be changed since we've really moved away from the California theme, but I'll touch briefly on what I said. In the future Disney's headed with California Adventure, I think Pandora, and Zootopia for that matter, can be great for the park. These two properties are really all about immersing us into the movies on a level we haven't seen since Cars Land. Embracing the idea of leaving California in a California park is definitely an interesting choice, but it's a choice that I'm willing to get behind based on how it's executed. Anything is better than what we currently have. The Hollywood backlot has been terrible since 2001. This part of the park is the one single bad area at the entire resort. Hollywoodland itself is my least favorite land, but the walk down Hollywood Boulevard is just fine enough. I think the plan that makes the most sense and is most cost effective is to finish theming the backlot to an area more appropriate to 1930s Hollywood. Finishing off the facades to the back of the buildings, building a nicer stage, removing some of the sound stages. It just needs to look nicer. And perhaps for the monorail, building a bridge the monorail passes over can work. Tunnels in the bridge, similar to the ones used as the transition from Grand Avenue to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Florida, can be used as the transition from Hollywoodland to Pandora in California. I'll probably make a more in-depth video on what Pandora might look like in the future and how it might fit, but that's just a small overview on what will most likely happen regarding the backlot. As for Zootopia, we have to wait for Coco to open in the park first. That area opening first will open the way for construction to begin on a potential bridge that will take us over to the Simba lot, the area that is marked for Disneyland Forward. And this is where Zootopia would go. Assuming it comes to the parks at all, which I really hope it does. Would you guys rather see Zootopia here or see Pandora? Let me know down in the comments and stay awesome.